Manners, Arda, welcome to another episode of the Daath Path. This one's real special to me. Got my pops here, Father Morrison, you get me?
It's all good.
Father
It's all
Daath,
good.
Father HonouRebel, do you get me? My father.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think today we're gonna talk about your business, pops, BrokerHouse.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into reasons for the name, reasons why, and then also how your sense of spirituality has developed over time, and how you've begun to sort of interlace that with how you do your business, the reasons why you do your business, targeting, and then just flow organically, into certain things and whatever. But before we do that, obviously,
Give thanks.
big thanks libation. It's my Earth Strong today. I'm gonna pour a libation for Grandma, 2 sessions in the same month. You know what I'm saying? Grandma did drink Guinness still, so yeah, maybe we're gonna pour a little libation. So the energy's right for this one. This is for you, Grandma. Grandma, Ashe.
Ashe.
We're gonna call on Ra, Ashe.
Ashe.
Amun,
Ashe.
Ashe. Sekmet,
Ashe.
Ashe. Amun,
Ashe.
Asar,
Ashe.
Apadamak,
Ashe.
Oset,
Ashe.
Shiva,
Ashe.
Shakti,
Ashe.
Amun,
Ashe.
Amun Hotep,
Ashe.
Manners and Arda.
Ashe.
Balance that.
See,
Come
they
on,
know.
man, I'm after holding. So we got these things. I'm gonna hold a little something for you, pops. Drink up,
Rocky Kelvin. Medaya. Mami Wadem.
That's that respect, Daddy.
Bless.
Every time, Alright, wicked. Guinness in a mug is mad, but you get me? So, okay. So, pops. Let's talk about BrokerHouse.
Okay.
What it is, the services that you provide, and then we'll start delving into a bit of the why and stuff. So yeah.
So BrokerHouse is a trading name of PLM Consultants with just my initials. Started off the business. And I was running that way for a while, and a very good friend of mine up in Blackburn, as well as a business consultant advisor, was sitting down looking at my books, looking at the business, and he just said that PLM Consultant doesn't really reflect the services that I provide.
Yeah.
And my friend Blackburn said to me, "You provide a number of services. You're a broker for these services. Just call yourself BrokerHouse." I said, "Get off the phone, man, because you always come up with these ideas better than me." So I call it BrokerHouse.
Yeah.
BrokerHouse, I like to call it, without being cliquey, it's an authentic business. It's a business that reflects my journey in life, the services I provide, specialising in wills, trusts, lasting power of attorneys, inheritance tax planning, probate, document storage, insurance protection.
Right.
I do it in a particular way.
Okay.
I do it in a way which is reflecting the mission statement that I have. It's quality service you can trust. I put myself out there. I want people to trust what I do. You can only build trust over time.
Yeah.
And you have to be consistent and persistent in the way you deliver your message. So if you're looking for quick wins in growing your business with authenticity, without sacrificing who you are, what you are, you've got to give it time.
Okay.
So you need the support of your loved ones, your family behind you and your friends, and you have to believe in yourself and continue doing what you're doing with all the knockbacks. So that is BrokerHouse in a nutshell. I can carry on forever and a day about that, because it is about the service I provide my customers. My customers tend to be people from the black community, be they from South America, be they from Africa, be they from the Caribbean or West Indies, whatever you want to call it. But those are the people.
Yeah.
And I don't go out looking for it deliberately. It just automatically happens that way. Yeah. Because of the way we can communicate with one another and understanding.
So what is it about the services that you provide? It's effectively like estate planning. Yes. Wills and trusts. Yes. Etc. Right.
Yes.
Why do you feel like that demographic, Moors, Cushites, would benefit from that service? I'm trying to get into the core of the why, because just like with me with Daath Path, pops, it's an expression of what's happening internally, an expression of ourselves. So I'm trying to get to the underbelly, the core of why BrokerHouse, why for that particular demographic that you seems to be targeting.
The business has evolved over time. One area that the business was involved in was debt management, not debt collection. And what I was able to do with the training and knowledge I acquired was to advise people how to manage their debt and get out of debt without the creditors constantly chasing them, interest adding onto it, blah, 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 blah. And I saw the relief and satisfaction it gave people. And it made me feel good that I was doing something which was of value. I was getting paid for it, but it was more satisfying that I was able to help people. And when you see the emotional outpouring, the emotional relief that the service you provide these people, I said, right, this is the way I've got to go. Because I just felt this was a natural pull.
I hear you.
So BrokerHouse has evolved into estate planning because as black people, as generation of the first Windrush, parents come over, we came with nothing. Our parents came with nothing. We weren't accepted purely because of the colour of our skin. People felt we were taking what was there, we were invading their land for whatever reason. Alright? After we asked them, we were seen as part of the kingdom or the commonwealth, or we had a sense of belonging. But when we arrived here, we weren't welcomed. And it's taken a long time for us to assimilate and to build and to acquire. And I think somewhere along the line, we have failed. When we look at different nationalities that have come and surpassed us, for whatever reason, they have surpassed us. Some of it is our fault. And I say it's our fault because we haven't really stuck together the way we should have stuck together, and we believe the hype that black people can't trust one another. Black people can't work with one another. Well, that's just a fallacy, and I refute that. So it's a matter of educating my parents, educating people of my generation, educating your generation, and educating the generation after about wealth. And wealth is not just about money. Wealth is one area. Money is one area of wealth. But the knowledge that we have, our ancestral knowledge, our knowledge of our homeland, our culture, the way we do things with our food, within our family, how we respect our elders, how we treat women, how we treat children, how we treat the land, how we respect the country we're in. Just so much knowledge that needs to be, I wouldn't say revived, it's there, but it's just to make it more aware. And saying, right, I may be specialising in wealth generation in one area, you're specialising in wealth generation in another. Someone was doing it another way. That is our wealth. So what I've tried to do was to make real what I believe in, what I hold true value, and incorporate within my business. And then deliver that message to the people when I'm sitting in their house, in their office, look in their face and say, right, I know you need to know me. This is how I do my business. This is how I work. I'm putting you first. You might not trust what I'm saying, you're putting you first, but the evidence is going to show. And after a while, that relationship builds. And they feel they can come to you over anything, even if it hasn't related to your business. But they feel you're an advisor you can talk to.
I hear you, Pops. Okay, so you touched on something. You touched on something there, which actually is the crux of obviously why I wanted to have this discussion with you, was getting into the role of the knowledge of self in how you structure your business, how the approach in which you apply to, providing the services to people. I want you to help the people understand sort of your journey and transition in terms of spiritual knowledge of self, and then the tenets that you've applied into your business and why.
So, your father-in-law and the family mum comes from is a Christian family. I was brought up exactly the same. Okay. Christianity within the Jamaican culture is a big thing. You venture out any other way, you're seen as an outcast because it's like there's nothing else. Over the years, things have changed. But growing up as a Christian, becoming a Christian, and journeying through that life, I realized and I felt, even though the principles and the values appeared to be true, didn't seem real enough for me. There was a level of truth that I felt was missing, and that's not in disrespect to anybody. It was just how I felt. There was a gap between what I was hearing, what I was seeing, and what was happening. And I was like, no, this is not right. To me, this isn't right. I'll tell you a story. Christian, walking to Dorchester Hotel, working with some friends to launch a company on the IAM market. Proper Kenzo suit, tie, shirt, everything, dress, whatever. Walking to Dorchester Hotel, met my friend Paul, and was talking. As I'm walking through, he said, "Patrick, come here." I said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Come to the toilet." Spit was all on the back of my jacket. So as I was walking down Park Lane, walking under the building site, they seen a young black guy, Chris, walking proud, happy, boom, boom, boom. So they will attack you from behind. Yeah? They'll try and denigrate you and whatever from behind. So it seemed as if there was no respect. There was no regard. Has it got to do with Christianity? No. But I weren't interested in turning the other cheek.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. I was interested in working hard to provide for my family, to feel good about myself, and then to send that message to everybody else. Yeah, you can do this, you know.
Yeah.
You can work hard. You can do this. Yeah. And I didn't get any support. I didn't get any. I don't know. There was a level of fight that was missing.
I hear you.
And I just wasn't interested in that. So over a period of time, I started to look, and I started to look, and I started to look, and I just said, you know what? The Bible is true. To a degree, if you understand where it comes from. It's got some good lessons in there, things you can follow, but where's the real evidence for our people to stand up and be manifested? Some people have done some good work, like the credit union, the Pentecostal credit union, some brilliant work, but there needs to be more. There just seem to be tokens. And I want you and your children and other men and girls like you to grow and elevate. And to take control of their destiny and their lives without no begging bowl, without asking nobody for nothing. But let's talk business, let's trade as equals, if you want to call it equals.
I remember from growing up and hearing your stories, Pops, there was always a rebellious streak in your nature. And it wasn't, this is what I explained before, it wasn't, when you say rebellious and being a rebel, it wasn't just to cause chaos and disrupt. But it's willing to peer behind the veil to understand the true mechanics and truth of this thing that you're believing in. So if we're taking a Christianity thing, if you're assigning your soul to this level of understanding, this doctrine, this religion, you know, there's a gap in the knowledge and the understanding, what I call the metaphysics of, you understand the mythology, you get the ritual, but you don't get the metaphysics, which allows you to really translate the knowledge in the psyche to then produce a physical and manifest result. And you've always been about, if you put your faith into something, don't be afraid to put it to the test.
Thank you.
And then when you buck up on that test, you analyze the results that you get, and then you begin to be able to distill truth for yourself. So going into a bit in terms of that, it's almost like he was a bit of a rebellious Christian. You know, go into that. Just your nature.
I wanted to see me in that book.
I hear you.
Yeah. I grew up on reggae music. I grew up around Rastafarianism. I grew up around mum telling me get the rag and not the flannel. Do you understand? I grew up with Dutch pot. I grew up in a certain way, and I didn't see myself in that book or the message or the stories in that book. Was that important? Yes, because it created a sense of identity and a self of worth and a sense of belonging. And I didn't know no one to tell me that I belonged. I wanted to see it. I wanted to feel it. I want other people to say, oh, yeah. You support football. You have a common thing. You see something and all of a sudden two men jumping up, don't know, boom, you identify with that thing. And that's what I wanted from us that believe in Christianity so much. From a Jamaican culture, I wanted to see me in that book. I didn't want to see an outline figure. I didn't want to see a mystical figure. I wanted to see a real person that I could identify with. And what I began to realise is that I wasn't identifying myself with the motherland that we come from. I wasn't identifying myself with where that book come from. And marrying the two up and understanding the history of certain things. And that's where the gap was. There's an element of truth in the book and principles and understanding, but it come from somewhere. All right? It was written by people. It was recorded by people. But it was recorded and written by people that want to whitewash and said, had nothing to do with it. The book come from here. And that's where the gap was. And that's why I couldn't believe it 100%. And that's where I was a rebel. It wasn't a rebel in a violence and I'm a big man, I'm the toughest. No, it was a rebellion of the mind. Yeah. I'm not interested in holding that. I'm hearing what you're saying, but I ain't believing what you're saying. So unless you can tell me something, I'm the kind of person, I'll keep my mouth shut, I'll hold it myself, and I'll kick back. But the more you push yourself on me, God's given me the words, I'll knock you down. Yeah. And it ain't like from mental knowledge on me. Yeah. It's just words that come and people look at, why are you talking so? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a channel thing.
It's a channel thing.
Which is something, and that's just funny because I see a lot of the root of how I am and how I've been able to develop my own understanding coming from you. You know what I mean? The rebelliousness streak thing, a saying that I've come up with, that reality is revealed at the dawn of the rebellious mind.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that come from you, Pops. Yeah. That come from you know, showing me by your works and by your actions that one that's willing to have the courage to step outside the box and go against the status quo in pursuit of truth, knowledge, and understanding. Yeah. You know, receives certain fruits and certain gifts that are prepared only for the few that are prepared to go ahead and do that. You know, and I feel like we're in a time where those that are blessed with that courage to do that, or with that truth. For me, it was a little bit of courage, but it was more, I wanted to know so bad. Yeah. I'd seen the evidence of the works of, you know, my grandparents and the works that they put in, and then the works of you and Mum, and how you lived your life. And it was like, I had that firm knowledge, understanding foundation, but I wanted to know more. I wanted to understand more. I remember coming to you as a youth and saying, obviously growing up in church heavy, knew my Bible inside out. You say keep your enemies close and your friends close, but your enemies closer. Yeah. How come no one ain't talking about Satan? Yeah. How don't we ever learn nothing about the devil or Lucifer in the Christianity in the Bible? And that took me down a path of saying, okay, let's really put this to the test. If we're gonna be, you know, I remember one of the things you teaching me as well about being authentic behind closed doors. Yeah. Being really about it, when it's just you in there back against the wall, and you just got to rely on yourself, what you're really made of. Yeah. And you taught me to apply it in every area of my life. So when I started applying that to searching for the knowledge of self, about the knowledge of my soul, my relationship of the soul to the human condition, it was from a place of how can I apply this knowledge in an authentic way that works for me, so that I can then be able to translate it, because then my disposition and my dissemination of the information is going to be one of truth. Yeah. It's going to come across as genuine, and that's where you're going to start being able to enlighten or educate, because it's coming from a place of experience, that self-revelation that I'm talking about. Yeah. And I just find that your process of being able to seek that own moments of self-revelation, as you just said, there's moments of revelation where you buck up in a test and the channel and the inspiration and the words come that you haven't, you know, you've not thought about it. It's just one moment, it's not there, and then it's just flowing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think that's really powerful. Yeah. I think that's really powerful, Pop. So, in terms of how you've incorporated that into BrokerHouse and your business, like, I suppose before we get into that, maybe, what was the transition and the shift and the change in your knowledge of self? And then again, how did you begin to, the reasons why you started to interweave it into your business? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I had to step away from a particular environment in order to find myself. And when I did step away from the environment, I felt like I was in space. It's like, oh, okay, well, man, you're a member of church, and you're in church, and church is all you know. You're not in church. What do I do? Yeah. Can I eat a sandwich? Do you know what I mean? You don't know what you're doing, and you're kind of like finding your feet again, and you're finding your identity again, and you think, but hold on, I used to like this. Is there anything really wrong with that? No, it's a doctrine. All right, it's not bad, but is it really good? So I was always being inquisitive. I always like to. I'm not a challenge, but it was inquisitive. I used to sit down and talk with Muslims on a daily basis. Seventh-day Adventists, Jehovah's Witnesses, people call it First Day, Sunday church, because we went Saturday church. Yeah. So it was always talking to them, understanding the difference between the two, and you find out over a period of time the differences were kind of minute, and they held on to one point and make it a big thing, and the big thing is the Creator. The biggest thing is the creator, but you're ignoring, I wouldn't say ignoring that, but it's not the forefront. It's like, and they found their identity in the little things that made them different to someone else.
Rather than universal truth.
Rather than universal truth, which is where universal law comes from.
Right.
So if we are created an image of the Almighty, why are we focusing on particular points of doctrine that separate us rather than focusing on the bigger things, or they call it the bigger, weightier things of the law? Things which are not tangible, but are intangible. You can't touch, but they're there. So I've tried to incorporate that in my business to say, right, if this is your situation, I'm not going to put myself first or my interest first.
Yeah.
The traditional way of looking at business, providing a service for profit. They identify profit with money. Profit isn't just about money. Profit is about the relationship, the value service you are providing that person, that they don't feel no way parting with their money once they feel like they've received something of important value that they don't even want to measure it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's so important to them. So if I put myself not first, but understanding my craft and my knowledge and adding the value of what I know to that individual person's life, then I can't put myself first. So I have to be selfless. I have to be sacrificing my time because I don't know what I'm going to get back. But then again, my reward isn't from the person or the family I'm sitting with.
Yeah.
My reward is from the universe because I've gone out there and I've sown a seed. I've done the right thing.
Yeah.
And if I don't get it from there, I will get it from there.
It's like your works. The works that you put out create the space. The works that you put out create the space for the gifts, the rewards.
You open the channel.
Yeah, you open up. Yeah, for
You
real.
open up the channel. So it's a matter of just constantly opening up the channel and doing what you believe is right. And that is the line of communication that sometimes people feel and they see. It takes time for them to trust.
Yeah.
But once they feel comfortable, you can literally see them sit like that, look like that. And you're not talking about things nothing to do with estate planning. Because really, estate planning is their life.
Yeah.
And they're talking about their life. And you're then putting it into context.
Yeah.
Why are they making, because of this happened in the past, or they had this experience with this person, or their auntie or their cousin had this and they want to do that because they don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And when you bring it down, it's down to relationships. It's down to not tackling certain issues within that relationship, which has festered into other areas.
Yeah.
So you just help them make the right decision in relation to the circumstances they're in. And you're saying, at the end of the day, I can put all certain things in place and I can try and make it as watertight as possible.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the best way to deal with that is to deal with that, and all of this will fall into place. And they're looking at you. Yeah, I've heard that before. But they don't want to do it for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So you got to give them time. You have to give them time. So my business is built on building that relationship, and getting people to understand and trust and talk to me. And we find identifiable things within that. They have children, I have children. They have grandchildren, I have grandchildren. They've lost a job, I lost a job. They got COVID, I didn't get COVID. Well, I got it for one day. But do you know what I mean? There are things, man, I'm saving for this and the car breakdown. How much more have I got to keep trying before I understand. I understand. But we did not inherit certain things from our parents.
Yeah.
We left our inheritance and came here. And they had to start afresh to build an inheritance. Sometimes the knowledge wasn't always passed on, which was sometimes the most important thing, not just the money.
Yeah.
Not just the house. It's the knowledge of where you come from, how you live, and build that into, and the desire. When my parents come, we didn't know about council house. We didn't know that word. Back home, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go and get piece of land and buy my own house, build my house. Yeah. That was the mentality. I'm always going to build my own house. Yeah. I'm buying my own thing. And over years, certain things have been interjected that we're not talking about building our own house. Yeah. We're buying a house. We're having a mortgage on a house. We know about mortgage. We're buying our house. If mortgage is the vehicle, it weren't the long-term vehicle.
Yeah.
25 years? No, 10. We're owning our house.
And that we were only able to, that sort of mindset was only able to be supported because there was a greater sense of community.
Yes.
And this is where this is a great vein that we're going to tap into, because the sense of community and the way in which we've done business coincided with a certain level of communal understanding and being able to identify one another to a point where we could do business. So it comes back to your point about business being relationship based. Business is always relationship based. Now that a relationship can only coexist when there is equitable level of knowledge and understanding between each other.
You have to have a relationship in order to relate.
Right.
You've got to be connected to the relator.
And the vehicle at the time, especially when we're talking about Windrush generation, my grandparents, that relationship and that understanding with the divine, to then how it played out and how you treat your fellow man and fellow woman, was through the Christian lens.
Yes.
But what they had, maybe I don't think as consciously, what they had interwoven into how they lived it out and practiced it was the ancient African
it was incorporated.
Running partner.
Yes.
Is that Ubuntu.
Yes.
Principle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? One family per floor in them houses in Dudley, South London, Lewisham, Peckham, and you come together because what bonded the community together was a sense of just a universal sense of there is a standard to which we treat one another within this community.
Yeah.
Especially when given in the context that we come here and was not accepted and we had no one else to turn to. So we had to, look at ourselves and really examine the relationship within ourselves to say, boy, if we can't make it work, so nobody's gonna get a food.
Let's not look at it through rose-tinted glass, because everyone didn't get on.
True.
People within families didn't get on. Never mind people. We had our own prejudice against Trinidad and Barbadians and them kind of challenges. But when you see you had no one else around, when they first come, when they saw another black person or a black woman, they didn't care if they were from Trinidad, Barbados or St. Lucia. They were nodding, hello. Yeah. I know who you are. I recognize you. I see you.
Because, do
you understand? And that needs to get back. Get rid of the surface prejudices and the indifferences. Also get rid of the knowledge or the lack or the vibration of not wanting to educate yourself.
Right.
There's more than one way of educating yourself. The school education system did not work for me. I didn't understand it. And I was just automatically placed in a circle of people I knew nothing about, but I was just cast there. Yeah. It's not until I come out that my education really started and my hunger and thirst for knowledge.
Right.
And it wasn't in the traditional school system. So I acquired knowledge over time, and God spared my life that I lived so long. My knowledge now is inexhaustible because it's an experience of life. Taught with what we learn in a book. And learning from my mother and aunties and uncles, and then passing that on and seeing the mistakes I made with you to now not make that mistakes with the grandchildren. And then you can see, somebody look at me and say, boy, how you soft with them soft? You weren't soft with me. I said the same thing about my parents.
It's true. Grandma was soft.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You think grandma was soft with me? No. You must be mad.
Part you didn't get.
Do you understand? So there are things that we need to learn and pass them on, because your generation, and I've said this time and time again, I won't stop, must do better than our generation. Now, what does better mean? Better means better. How you measure it is entirely up to you. It doesn't necessarily mean money or marriage or kids or whatever, but knowledge and application of that knowledge and finding your way in life and yourself in life is doing better than us. Everything else can open up to you after that. And whatever you put your hands to, it will flourish. No matter what the prejudices that are in the way that are trying to restrict you. They're just, to me, they're just temporary restrictions that we can get caught up on. I find that Jamaican people, I don't know about any other nationality, but Jamaican people born in Jamaica, come here, do not see racism the same way as us. That's because they haven't experienced it. But their mindset is, you ain't stopping me. Their mindset is, if you don't like me, okay, don't like me. They're carrying on. They're not going to sit back and cry and boo-boo, and I'm not making light of it. that, oh, you don't like me, da, 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 da. They're saying, I know where I come from,
Right.
I'm on a journey, and I'm going to get to that journey. And if you're in my way, that's your problem. But you ain't going to stop me.
Again, the resilience that that is typically shown by us as Jamaicans comes from, again, it's rooted in the knowledge of self. It comes with a certain strong sense of identity of where you've come from, because then it ain't going to inform, obviously, where you're going and what's possible to you, because you don't understand what's come before.
Yeah.
And I feel like that principle applies more widely to our experience of life.
Yes.
Do you understand? When you're saying generation after you must do better, it's like from a spirituality point of view, you can only do better if you have an understanding of what has come before.
Yeah.
And that understanding of what has come before has been tainted by the way in which religion has been used to control our psyche.
Mind, yes.
In placing ourselves in history and placing ourselves, even comes down to the way we refer to ourselves. You know, I don't tend to use the term black because it's a description. It's not a noun.
Yeah.
It's what I use more, or Kushite.
But you think back in the day, you still was using coloured.
It's true. It's true.
Now, to me, looking back, that's just so offensive.
Yeah.
But was there really anything wrong with it?
No, but I think we are the only nation of people whose name has been played around with.
Thank
so much.
you.
So again, that to me, that shows that if you understand the importance of a name on the psyche,
yes.
If you can't name this is the next thing, Pops. If you can't name something, you can't place it in your reality properly.
Yes.
You can't think of something that you don't have a name for.
Yeah.
In your everyday surroundings, if you can't name it, it doesn't exist to you.
It don't exist.
So taking that step a bit further, rather than removing someone's name, if you were to change the way in which they refer to themselves, the power of a name and the power of words comes from the image that it generates in the subconscious mind, in the psyche. Yeah. What you innately draw upon to create the mental image. Yeah. To use it as a term of expression. So when you nullify it into a phrase like black, it's very vague.
Or coloured. Or so it just shows you how far we are from our sense of reality of identity, that we're talking about coloured, black and this, because before they didn't exist. But we accepted a name that was given to us to classify us. And said, no, I don't identify as that. Call me by my proper name. If you can't call me by my proper name, don't call me at all, because I don't need you to call me.
But we must know that for ourselves.
And this is where we're coming back to. The next generation must do better.
I hear you.
When you think of the conversation we're having now, in a time when the Moors were over Spain, do you think we're having a conversation back then?
It's true.
So how far have we fallen?
How far have we fallen?
Of our identity, of ourself, of our achievements. Look at Coco. Tennis.
Yeah, the US Open. Yeah.
I saw pictures of her as a child when Serena and Venus were playing at the US Open, dancing in the crowd.
Yeah.
Now she's a tennis champion. She had something to identify with.
Yeah, Pops.
She had an example.
The reference point.
Do you understand? So Serena and Venus, father, hold the media at bay when they're trying to categorize his children then. And he's telling them about their business and about themselves and protecting his daughter's mentality and status and position and ambition in life. And look where they've taken it to the point they can now influence Coco. Who's Coco going to influence?
It's true.
That's generational wealth. The knowledge, the experience, the achievement, the ambitions. I'm taking a small segment of it and saying, right, now you've acquired, let's protect it. Because you need that economic finance to push you to the next level. You use it right. You then start to think differently about where to invest your money to avoid the tax or reduce the tax to get the maximum benefit, to then lift someone else's business up or lift someone else's education up, or you want to send your kids to their own educational institution because you can financially afford it, or you create your own hospitals because you can financially afford it, because you've protected that financial acquisition over time with knowledge and with experience.
Yeah. And I think one of the powerful things in what you do, Pops, is, I think it's something you've mentioned this to me before, is when you go in and you help a particular family, you're planting the seed for generational wealth transfer, because it's not so much always just about the funds and the finance.
No.
It's you said the knowledge and the know-how about how to protect, that you then once mother solves a problem, all her children are healed.
Yeah.
So you plant the seed of, this is how it's done. So then what do they do?
Yeah.
Listen, this is how you plant, this is how you sow, this is how you reap.
This is the reason why.
And then they go ahead. So, you almost become like a partner to the family, a partner to the way in which they help themselves progress throughout time. And it's the knowledge is the thing that remains. It's the thing that's unmoved, the tangible thing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And when you think of it, when I look at the Final Conduct Authority, I look at, Society Regulators Authority, and all these organisations, they place measurements, they place structures and systems already in place, which is already within us. Yeah. It's already been explained up there, and it's already dropped within you, but you have to tap into that by doing the right things for the right reasons. And you automatically fulfill them laws without even going to college or school, I'm telling you. Yeah. Because those systems are built upon a system which is already in existence for millenniums. So when you tap into the right source, things will automatically happen. You don't necessarily need, and it's important to have the exams and qualifications and initials after your name. That is not the measurement. Universal law, the creator of energy and life, is more than some initials after your name. It's a way of life that generates life. And life breeds life, not initials, not letters, not status.
It's a way of life. And that, 100% Pops. And that's one of the tenets, the points that I'm trying to get across to people by showing them and displaying the Daath path. I've always said Daath path is a demonstration of a way of life. It's taking that spiritual knowledge and understanding, and then analysing how you've been able to practically apply that within your life, and what lessons have you got from actually doing so. Yeah. What have you reaped from that which you've sown? Because that's the true value, the how-to, the know-how. Yeah. From the knowledge comes the know-how.
Yes.
That's the true
power.
Yeah, Pops. Yeah, that's the true power.
Once you get the knowledge, and not the knowledge necessarily from a classroom or a book, but a mentor, a teacher that is teaching you about the life and the creativity of the universe as a whole, that energetic power, how to tap into it, how to bring those resources to teach you how to farm your land when it's not farming properly, what crops to sow when you're not supposed to sow them, how to sail the seas, how to manage your horse and cart and donkey so you don't destroy the crop to get it to a place at a certain time, and then take that on to the next level. Transportation, communication, agriculture, technology. All of these are just surface things to aid our existence and make things better. But understand the source.
Yeah. Even in that word technology, it's hidden two things. It's knowledge and technique. It's the knowledge of something, and then the technique of how to apply that knowledge. It gives you your technology. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this Daath path is spiritual technology. Yeah. Spiritual technology. Yeah. And it comes from, yes, you need teachers, you need mentors to switch certain lights on. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But they can't till the soil. You got to walk the path. Yeah, they can't till the soil for you.
Yeah. You got to walk the path. Yeah. So when I told you to seek truth, I didn't tell you to go to church.
It's true.
I didn't tell you to become a Muslim or become a Hindu or a Buddhist or whatever title you want to put it. Seek truth. When you look for truth, truth will come to you. You'll be surprised what comes back to you, because it doesn't always follow the path that people have a measurement to use as truth. Truth is not a label of an organization.
Yeah.
It's a way of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an energy.
Yeah.
It's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's a revealing, constant moving, evolving thing. It doesn't stay still. That means your knowledge can't stay still on truth. It has to go to the next level, has to evolve.
That's too bad.
I always say, truth only has one friend, that's righteousness. Yeah? Truth and righteousness. You know, apart from that, I ain't got no brother, no friend. Because it can be very bitter and it can be very sweet. But if you can plant yourself in a position of neutrality and look at within and judge yourself within in relation to truth, anything else that comes is water off a duck's back because you've already done the judgment.
Right. And that is just look. The reason I'm laughing and just looking back because I can see that initial that was the technology that you gave me.
Yeah.
Was to seek truth because you gave me an insight into what truth is meant to look like, smell like, sound like, feel like, and it allowed me to go and search all over and gather the amount of knowledge and understanding I have from so many different sources and ranges that I've been able to take it, because you gave me that technology of understanding what it here's what truth looks like, and here's the lifestyle behind pursuing that. Because my thing was always the birth of my children triggered my spiritual awakening and my transformation, because it was all based on having the knowledge and the truth of self to be able to give them. Because that's what I felt like, my sense of identity and culture and standing in this world came from the lessons that you and Mum were able to give me. And it's like, okay, what now that I'm going to be there, what do I have to provide? What do I have to offer? And I felt like the range of what I knew at the time, it still didn't feel like enough. I still didn't feel like I'd done enough of the work to uncover to feel like I could give my children the truth about who they are, to take it to the next level. And it's only when I took my pursuit of truth to the next level, to a point of saying I was willing to no longer exist here if the status quo about who I was as a Moor, as a Kushite, and my standing in society and the legacy that we have on this planet was just as it's being presented to me in mainstream doctrine. If that's all there was to me, I don't want it. Drop me out.
You wanted to give your son something more.
I wanted to give my son something more.
You didn't want him to have anything substandard. And when you think of what you could leave your son, it's like, it's not quite enough. Yeah, it's nice. You're driving an Audi. You're driving a nice big Audi. Yeah, you're 28. You got a yard. Yeah, you live in a road that no other black people's lived on before. The darkest thing on the road was a tarmac. And you think to yourself, okay,
what else?
And what about my family? What about my brethren? How come they can't get it? All right, maybe they don't want it the way they want it. But was it really enough? It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. Because everything's going to be tangible. Everything is temporary. Perishable. And I want to leave something more for my family. My wife, my children. And now the grandchildren come and say, boy, I can't go nowhere. My job ain't done.
Folks.
Do you understand? So, generation wealth is the knowledge that we have acquired in our journey, in our pursuit for truth. Incorporate that into our everyday lives. We're not robots. I've made a whole heap of mistakes. But learning from those mistakes and then being able to take it down. God, my head was hot. I was temper. Hot. Because that was anger, that was frustration, that was aggression. The system was beating you down. And whichever way you want to turn, it's like grinding. And then you're in a job, earning good money, so-called good money. And then people were coming in and you weren't getting a promotion, but you had to train them. He said, you're taking the mickey. But you have to be careful how you tread. I was tired of carefully how I tread. So when I finally got sacked from my last job for lots of different reasons, and I wouldn't say I was totally blameless, but it was not instigated by me. And when they started, I said, no, you pick on the wrong person because I'm fighting back. I'm going to fight back the way I know. And that's when they got scared. And then I brought all the tricks out of the bag. And then Andy sealed it.
Yeah.
Andy sealed it. And then your mother said, you can't work for anybody else. Because that rebellious mindset weren't prepared to sit down. And even today, I'm talking to a solicitor, I'm listening to them. I'm going, yeah, okay. Let me go check over there. And then when I get the answer come back, I'm saying, okay. So you're making decisions and giving answers to protect your position and your status in this firm, in the big EC1 of London, where I'm making a decision which is in the best interest of my clients. And I'm pulling out bits of information to say, right, this is why they do this, this is what this means. What that means and why they do that, our clients in our life, they don't care. They don't care. What they care about is this going to work for me? And that part, is it really going to affect me? At this stage, no. At a review stage, it might do. But at this stage, no. But they focus on the point that's going to stop them from making a decision because they're focusing more on the problem and the problem to stop them getting sacked or sued. We are creative people. Whatever we touch, we reinvent it and present it back to the world, and then they want it. So why can't we do that in business? We do it in music, we do it in art, we do it in so many different. Why can't we do that in business? You look at every area where finance is generated that we're involved with, be it the dustbin cart, be it the mechanic, be it the plumber, be it the lawyer in the office, be it the accountant, be it the builder. Why can't we look at it and be creative about what we can do and what we can bring to the party to make this work?
And to service our own needs.
To service our own needs.
Solve our own problems.
Without watching nobody, but we watch ourselves. So when I look at you, I don't see an enemy. If I see another black man or black woman or a young black boy that people tend to stereotype and be afraid of, oh, he must be carrying a knife. And don't look at him like that, but look at him as a youth that needs some guidance. He will have some tendencies. She will have some tendencies. Tell me I wasn't the same.
It's true.
When I was young, we used to walk around with a knife called 007. I nearly got caught in an airplane on one. And I had to run to the dustbin and the toilet and dash it where? That was the mindset then. And when I nearly got caught at the airport and I dash it in the toilet, I never got one again. Because I realised the limitations. If I got caught with it, the damage could have been even worse. But that was our mindset then. But who was there to guide me? Who was there to really understand that I had this thing in secret that no one knew, but I was still a man on road walking my things just in case. And now I realise that the weapons of my warfare, I'm on a higher level now. I'm a higher level now. I can manage certain things, look at the situation, analyse it, use my brain to either get in, get out, use my words to manage it and control the situation. Try and put myself like Neo.
I think what it's like the fear, the knowledge of self, of self that you gained as you mature and grew up and get to be exposed to certain things, replaced the fear that meant you felt like you needed to hold that. The just in case thing, because like you said, the weapons of your warfare. The weapons of your warfare change. You understand it's an internal thing, it's a spiritual thing, and the state that you holding inside is what you is a reflection of your external manifestation, how you carry yourself. External manifestation is a reflection of what's happening on the inside, and how you choose to behave yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? I wanted to just get your view and opinion on the importance of the knowledge of self, the importance of spirituality, just based on your own experience, you know.
Do you remember I used to walk around with skull cap?
Yeah.
Multicolour.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was searching for myself. Yeah? You see me with a stool I made from school.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah? Black star line, I write its soul and this and that. Everything black on a wooden stool. Black Panther, this and that. I was searching for myself. I wanted to identify with Pele, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Yeah? I always wanted to identify with... We grew up on Muhammad Ali. In the heyday, when the proper fight was fight. We used to stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Eyes red, watching these fights. So they sowed a seed of recognition in us that we were better than what we are.
Yeah.
The only problem was, it always came from America. We didn't hear about the men and women of Africa that were changing their continent of fighting. We didn't hear about Mandela until he was later on in prison. We didn't hear about Nkrumah.
Yeah.
We never heard of them names. Do you understand? All those things could have made a difference. And I'm sure there were men and women out there more advanced than me at that time that knew. But there weren't enough of us that knew. You see our music?
Yes.
Tell our history through our music. You're creative enough, you're good enough. It's happening now. Tell your history through our art. Be unapologetic about it. Let no one censor you. It's only starting to happen now. And it's happening now in so many different ways. We now have the internet.
Yeah.
We now got AI. Good or bad, make of it what you will. But we are in control of our destiny. No one tells us what our name is. No one is carving up Africa no more. They're trying. We're carving it back the way that we want. It's not going to happen overnight. Stand your ground. Believe in what you are. Believe in what you want. I done a podcast the other day with somebody about Black History Month. And I said, no one tells me when Black History Month is. No one tells me when to celebrate Windrush. No one tells me when it's my birthday. No one tells me to love my mother or my family. I tell you. You don't dictate to me. If we choose to use that time for that, all well and good. I can work with it. But you do not dictate and tell me. The minute you dictate and tell to me, I say, take it away. I don't need you. I don't need you. What I need is my word, my self-belief, and understanding my value in this world connected to the Creator, the universe. And that will supply answers, solutions, problems, solutions, and hopefully, I do believe, freedom and gratification. We will be vindicated. I don't know if I'll see it in my lifetime, but I'm sure as hell going to try. By teaching and educating the people I come into contact with the services that BrokerHouse have in the one area that I know about. And I incorporate it in that. I plant the seed in that. And then when I'm gone, hopefully they will tell their aunties, their uncles, the children, the children's children. I already have people calling me saying, I've got this particular document for a solicitor. I want you to read it for me. Well, I didn't do it, so why don't you go back to them? I trust you. And I'm doing the same thing. Now, I could pick up myself. No, I ain't doing it because I didn't write it and you never gave me the business. No, come. Make her give you food. When grandma cooks, she cook for everybody to come and eat food. So I apply the same principle. I cook food. You want to come partake of some food? But this is what my fee is. So when I tell them what my fee is, you know how serious they are. Some people have the money already sitting there waiting when you turn up.
Because they understand the value.
That value.
You see the value add,
But I have to value myself first. I have to value what I know. And I begin to see, when I see the effect it has on other people, I begin to value what I have. And sometimes I do get thrown off by people, PhD. People with things that I don't have. And I'm like, boy, I can't be measured with them. But that's not my standard. You even told me that. And other people, that is not your standard. You've already set your standard, which is the creator of the PhD. Just because you don't have that, doesn't mean you don't have it. Just because you haven't got it yet, doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Stay in your lane, do the best you can with what you have, and don't listen to the noise. If it comes to you, it comes to you. If it don't, it don't. But continue do what you are doing. And that's one of the reasons why, if you want to call it a successful marriage, I've been married to your mother for so long, I didn't listen to the noise.
You got mummy still.
I didn't look to the left or the right. Don't tell me they weren't not looking.
Yeah.
Don't tell me she weren't looking either.
Yeah.
It happens. And then I realised, as time has gone on, the value of the person I had, even more so than when I had it. And then I realised that I didn't need an organisation or institution to make it happen. Because while we're doing what we're doing and going through our challenges, the institution wasn't there. It was our word. It was our commitment. It was our standing to say, I believe in this and this is what I want. Really, do I want it? Yeah, I do. What am I really asking for here? Boy, I don't know, but I'm committed. I'm going all the way.
Yeah.
I'm going all the way.
Yeah.
And we have to be like that in every area of our life. And sometimes if it don't work, it don't work. It don't work. Don't be afraid to say, boom, because it's got to be a two-way street. It cannot be unbalanced. Sometimes I see a client and it ain't going to work. And I say, you know what? Literally, you know what? I think we might have to leave this one. And they went, oh. And they went, yeah. So it's just, and you'll know when the time's right. You're playing a football match and you're grinding, and you think to yourself, try it our day to day, man. Let this one ride. We'll get them in the next round. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
listen, what I want to ask you, I sort of just get what you've seen from me thus far with what I'm doing with Daath.
yeah.
I can see within myself and going through my own process of analysis how the lessons that I received as a child are starting to manifest in me creating this, and me starting getting this message out into showing people that there's another layer.
Yes.
There's another layer to this existence, and it's very thinly veiled, very thinly hidden in the way in which we conduct ourselves in all areas. Hence we're talking about business today. But if it's universal, it applies everywhere. And this is what I'm trying to show people, is when you begin to apply spirituality as a way of life,
Yes.
it begins to permeate, or it should permeate everything that you do. True spiritual awakening causes a transformation where you just can't bring yourself to do things in a certain particular way anymore, and you're compelled to do it in a particular order of things, because the knowledge has matured and germinated to a level where it produces power, and power is transformation. So yeah, just to get your view and opinion on where this is going, and just advice, Pops. You know what I mean?
Carry on doing what you're doing. People that identify something that is not the norm will be looked upon the world as being weird. Intelligent people sometimes are just so intelligent they can't really express themselves. People look at them as weird. They're not weird. You just don't understand them. And they are communicating on a different plane.
Yeah.
Take your time what you're doing, but don't stop what you're doing.
Okay.
Take your time what you're doing, but keep pressing. You're not going to please everybody. Your job is not to please everybody. Your job is to get the information out. You found a sense of purpose, a sense of value. You find your lane, and you carry on working it. Who will come to you will come to you. Who will drop off will drop off. Be true to yourself and be true to the people that are around you. It will happen automatically. What I find with young men, and I was the same, they don't know how to take their time. You lot on the journey is microwave. In the oven, 2 minutes, boom. When my parents cook, the rice season, everything seasoned from Friday to cook for Sunday, to eat for that one day. But it's the preparation behind it. Do you understand? We are not as bad as our parents and seasoning up from the Friday and Saturday. We're not even seasoning up on a Saturday now.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just season on the Sunday morning with some people. But the principle is the same. If you want the best out of it, you've got to sow the seed and take your time and work it. Kobe Bryant, love the man. He was just religious and diligent on his pursuit and perfection. I listened to a podcast where the man was training and taking shots, and he said, that board is not right. The board in the floor wasn't right.
It was Steph Curry.
Yes.
I saw the video of Steph Curry where he found the dead part.
Yeah, every time, boom, 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 the ball never bounced up right to shoot. The ball, and when they checked, the board was wrong. But he was so sensitive in his art of perfection in what he was doing. And we have to be the same. Once you find your love, your desire, your gift, and you find out that you're good at it, you'll become so sensitive, unique, that anything out, you say, no, that's off key. Musicians will hear it. Yeah? I remember one time someone was playing with Miles Davis and the man hit a wrong note and Miles Davis switched it and carried on playing and created something new out of that wrong note. And he said the key behind it wasn't to bring you down, but to take you to the next level of where I was going with this. To me, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. There's videos of Pele doing everything that Maradona done, Ronaldinho done back in the 50s. So ain't nothing new, but you're just perfecting the art. So what you're doing is nothing new. It's a lost art. It's a lost information. It's been resurrected. Why now? Why now? And there's plenty of men and women like you and after you that are going to do it. I can hear it in your grime and your drill. Before, when you used to listen to it, I wasn't interested. The other day I'm listening, just in the office, podcast, Spotify, grime. I went, hold on. These guys and girls are good. All right, take out the profanity, because sometimes it throws you off. And you listen, you said, but you know what? When we were listening to dancehall and reggae music in our day, we were the same. It was rebellious music. It was a sense of belonging, a sense of identity. So what I'm saying to you is, don't stop what you are doing. Always seek perfection and go to the next level when it's convenient. I see your setup here. New skill. I'm saying like, boy, this man's learning a new skill.
Yeah, it's true.
So from your reading to now setting this up and to putting it out and then putting it out there, a lot of people coming up to you and saying, I saw you, I saw you, I saw you. In them seeing you, you're going to show them themselves. Which is falling into exactly what you're doing. So don't stop what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. Don't get distracted. Love yourself. Love what you love. Hold those close dear to you and just keep pushing, do what you're doing. It will come. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, this ain't the only one.
No, man.
We'll do this again.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I love it. I love what you're doing. I love what the young people are doing. I saw some podcasts with you, some guys the other day, and I had to listen to it twice. Second time I listened to it, I went, yeah. I felt satisfied that the knowledge that's coming is in safe hands. It's coming out another way.
Yeah,
it's in safe hands.
Yeah, come on, I hear that.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
And anyone listening to this, I am not against the church. I'm not against any religion. Your field is your field, your lane is your lane. But don't, this is me now, you can't put God in a box. So it's okay if you're comfortable, fine, but don't judge no one else. Because if we think the energy can be contained, and the energy of knowledge and the energy of existence can be contained, you ain't started yet. You ain't started yet. It's uncontainable. It can't die. It will transform and it will just develop and grow. Yeah. And it will fit into where it wants to fit. Use it, exert it, and then it'll carry on moving. So we can't die. We just transform. I hear that. But I don't know where I go. But I'm cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
All right, man. Yeah. Blessings. Blessings.
United
go.
Yeah, man.